Speaking of baseball, Billy Hamilton, you just got rid of him, right?
Yeah, we didn't. We had the chance to tender him. We decided not to. He signed with the Royals for a year.
Oh, thank goodness. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah,
single-handedly destroyed the Pirates like every year. It
he
was
single.
just
He destroyed me having you watch him. It's hard watching a guy that can't hit.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the PodHub Network. In this episode, I preview the Steelers-Bengals game with Aaron Sloan of aaronsloan.com. It's going to be a very interesting Sunday as the Steelers play the Bengals, and hopefully they beat them. Then they have to hope that the Browns beat the Ravens in Baltimore. And if they don't make the playoffs. So it's either going to be a very happy or angry Sunday night. So we'll see. The Donut Bag starts right now. Steelers face the Bengals this weekend in hopefully part one of their two-part attempt to get into the playoffs. With me to talk about it is Aaron Sloan. He is covers the Reds and Bengals and other stuff for on aaronsloan.com. Aaron, how you doing?
Doing great, Joe. Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, no problem. Hope you're doing better than the Bengals. It has not been a good season. What happened? Well, besides, I mean, would you say the injuries are what happened?
Yeah, basically injuries. It was we started off, 4-1, and heading into that week playing you guys. I was ready to go and buy Super Bowl tickets. I thought that we'd finally figured it out. Marvin Lewis maybe did like some soul searching or something, and really helped. I thought we were going to finally turn this franchise around. And the next thing you know, that October 14th game happened. You all basically ruined our season again with that Antonio Brown touchdown catch, and then injuries on top of injuries, and especially from our linebackers. Nick Vigil missed some time. Preston Brown went on the IR. And then, of course, missing Andy Dalton since week, I want to say 11. We lost him against the Browns and then turn around the very next week and lose A.J. Green. So started off, like I said, 4-1, and everything's just been kind of downhill since, all because of injuries is what I'd mostly blame it on.
Yeah. I mean, if you take any team and take out their starting quarterback, their best wide receiver, their second best wide receiver, and a whole bunch of other good players, they're all going to stink. So I mean, you can't, it's just bad luck.
And then on top of that too, we even had Mixon miss 4 or 5 games, so that definitely didn't help. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully be able to close out the season strong somehow.
It's a lost season, yeah, but I have a feeling that the Bengals, I mean, the Bengals and Steelers just hate each other so much. They'll play just if the Bengals win, the Steelers are eliminated. The Steelers need to beat the Bengals and then hope that the Browns beat the Ravens in Baltimore to make the playoffs. So, I'm sure they, when the Bengals heard that, it's like, oh, you mean we get to knock them out of the playoffs? Ha! We have something to play for. Cool.
Oh yeah, this is basically our Super Bowl. All those times that you guys have ended our season, and then maybe that we finally get just one chance for payback, even as unlikely as it is right now. But still, there's a chance. It'd be really nice though if the Ravens and Browns were playing at 1:00. That way we would maybe know the how much this game meant going into kickoff. But it is what it is.
Right. They moved them both to 4:30 or whatever, so because they want to get that drama. So
yeah,
goody. A lot of scoreboard watching. Yep. But yeah, Mixon has been. Is this his second year?
Yeah, it's his second year.
He's played. He's really come into his own. I mean, he had a pretty good rookie year, but looks like he's had a really good year this year when he's been healthy.
Oh yeah, he's leading the AFC in rushing right now. We've definitely been using him as a workhorse as much as we can. And they've been doing a lot too to try to get him involved in the passing game as much as possible. But especially these last couple of weeks, having to play with Jeff Driscoll as our quarterback, we've really been relying on him heavily, and we haven't been getting the wins that we've wanted. Which at this point, there's really no point in winning. But the main thing is just he keeps improving while also staying healthy. Because next year, I mean, I would say this year was maybe a breakout year, but next year might be a huge year for him. And I think he'll basically be the vocal point of our offense going forward. With AJ Green getting up there and coming off injury, and even Andy coming off injury next year, I think it's really important for Mixon to close out this year strong.
I mean, yeah, you have you basically have. I don't want to say. I almost want to say you basically have your Le'Veon Bell. He's basically. I mean, he could do it all. He runs great. Good with the pass catching. So, I mean, you have your foundation there. AJ Green. I mean, and I'm a huge fan of Tyler Boyd because he came from Pittsburgh, and looks like he really came into his own this year also before he got hurt.
Yeah, whenever AJ went down, Tyler really stepped up. He played, he basically helped carry us as well. And but even before AJ went down, I'd consider him like a poor man Juju, like what you all have going on with Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. But with injuries to Tyler Eifert, Tyler Croft, we didn't have really anyone else to go to besides AJ. So Boyd stepped up big time for us this year, and kind of whenever everyone's double teaming AJ or the defense is really focusing on shutting him down, he was able to step up and make plays for us. So it sucks that he got hurt too, but it's great to see that he was able to come on and help us. And like I said, next year, just hopefully he can come out and keep that same production for us.
Yeah. But about Tyler Eifert, God, he just gets hurt all the time. Like, I think maybe he should just hang it up. Like, come on, you just can't stay healthy, man. It's a shame.
Yeah, third or fourth year. I think in the 2015 season at Pro Bowl, he broke his ankle, and ever since then he had back issues, and then finally came back. We signed him to the 1 year deal. It's kind of like a prove it, if you stay healthy this year and you're able to produce, maybe we'll give you another contract. But I mean, for him, it just sucks because what can you really do? But I wouldn't be surprised if he was somehow able to come back and somebody else picked him up, maybe to a 1 year deal. But if he is able to play, he definitely won't ever be the same that he used to be, which sucks because he was a great player and he was arguably maybe a top 3 tight end in the league at one time.
Leave it to it's a classic one of those situations where you just give up on him because he just can't stay healthy. He goes to another team and then just has like a Pro Bowl year or something like that.
Dude, that's what it's like being a Cincinnati fan and a Bengals fan or a Reds fan. A player can't stay like we're gonna switch over to baseball real quick. We just traded Homer Bailey because of how awful he's been. We unloaded that contract. He's probably gonna go to the Dodgers and have like a 30-0 record.
Right. He's gonna win
0.001. Yeah, he's gonna win the next 5 Cy Youngs. He's gonna win the next 5 World Series with the Dodgers probably. That's just how it goes.
Speaking of baseball, who is Billy Hamilton? You just got rid of him, right?
Yeah, we didn't. We had the chance to tender him. We decided not to. He signed with the Royals for a year.
Oh, thank goodness. I mean, he single-handedly destroyed the Pirates like every year.
He destroyed me having to watch him. It's hard watching a guy that can't hit above. His career batting average is like 240 and doesn't have an OBP of 300. And if you would have just been able to cut Billy Hamilton's arms off and let him just walk, he could easily turn a walk into a triple, and he would have been a much better player.
If he just stood there and and then just not swung or just take walks, he would be valuable. If his career batting average was 240, that would mean that he batted 200 against the rest of the league and about 400 against the Pirates. He just owned them every single time they played. He'd get on base. Next thing you know, he's in third base, and then like a fly ball or a bunt or something like that, and he's home. It's like, oh man, he just destroyed him. I'm so glad he's gone.
That's how he was. He'd go a couple games in a row playing great. He'd get on base 3 or 4 times a game, and then he'd go 21 days without even getting a hit or something crazy
Oh,
like that.
goodness. But now he's the Royals' problem.
Yep.
Back to the Bengals. One bright spot you guys have had is the defensive line. Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap.
Mm-hmm.
They've been good for a long time, and they've had a pretty good year, right?
Yep. They. I'm not sure if they made the Pro Bowl or not. I haven't seen anything about that. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but we locked them both up recently to longer term deals, which I'm perfectly fine with. They help carry our defense. It sucks, the linebacker core behind them has been pretty shaken up. But Gino, he's just a force to be reckoned with in the middle. He's able to disrupt plays. He does a really good job of taking on double teams and helping the linebackers, be able to scrape over and maybe make a play for a short gain or even a loss. And Dunlap, he's really effective getting to the quarterback. And when he's not getting to the quarterback, his big thing is he's able to he's able to deflect balls at the line of scrimmage and prevent any play from happening in the passing play. So they've been solid as always, but like I said, man, there's not too much else positive going on with our defense.
Yeah. Speaking of the linebackers, Vontaze Burfict, this has just been a lost year for him. He started out suspended, and then even when he was playing, it just seemed like, I don't know, it just didn't not his year.
Well, they're saying now that he might even have to give up football. He just suffered his second concussion in a year and his 7th total. So I guess he's got some thinking to do in the offseason, maybe get some evaluations done, but there's a very good chance that he could be done with football just in general.
Do you think he's out for this game?
I would say so. With this game, not really. I mean, it matters a lot to you guys, and probably honestly to him too. I'm sure that he still, sits up late at night thinking about maybe killing Juju Smith-Schuster, getting some revenge or something with how crazy Burfict is. But if he plays, he's going to come out, and probably come for some heads too. But I wouldn't be surprised if he just decided to, be cautious about it and just sit it out and wait to see what happens in the offseason.
That's tough. I mean, I and just about everybody in Pittsburgh hates his guts.
Oh yeah, I love him.
That's one of those things. That's that classic argument. You have somebody that's considered quote unquote dirty, and if he's on your team, you love him.
Oh, exactly.
And if he's not on your team, you hate his guts and want to get him. I mean, we had James Harrison. That was basically the same thing. Like James Harrison just basically I think he literally murdered some people on the football field. Just totally wiped them out. So. Yeah, we are not a fan of his, but and then when Juju did that, oh boy, that was. I think that was one of the concussions actually.
Yeah. I think it even almost broke his jaw. Like he was out with a jaw injury too.
Yeah.
But, that was the So he had a concussion now. He had one earlier this year, and then that was his, I guess, 3rd most recent concussion. So that was only barely over a year ago. So that's been tough for him.
It's not good. Definitely not good. You mentioned broken jaw. I just remembered that hit Hines Ward put on that I think was named Rivers.
Keith Rivers. That basically ended his career too.
God, I mean, that like we complain now about that the officiating sucks and that you're not allowed to hit anybody, but man, I mean, that was just one of the cheapest shots ever. He just wiped out that guy. Yeah. My goodness, total blindside, just knocked him out. Yeah,
the hit that really gets to me was I was 8 years old whenever Palmer got hurt against the Steelers in the wild card round, and
Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Yeah. Ever since then, I've just had a black spot in my heart for the Steelers.
That was at a playoff game. I think it was in Cincinnati.
Yep.
And the Steelers ended up winning that game because, yeah, basically we just wiped out your quarterback.